Hey YouTube, I want to introduce you to my friend FX, and he's on his brand new 2018 Race Edition Beta 300. And this is my friend Aaron, who's dancing with a KTM. Both of them are faster and better riders than I am. It's been 3 months since the first part in this series, and I was excited to test my skill. FX is a smooth rider. He's consistent, and he's pretty fast in the more open areas. But I really wanted to keep up with him. I realized in the tighter areas, I was a little quicker than he was, likely due to a little bit of apprehension on his new bike and the fact that he's used to riding a much more powerful, heavier 450. I try to use this to my advantage, and for the most part it worked. The truth of the matter, though, is once we got into the open areas, he was a ghost. It was incredibly difficult to match his pace. See, I'm riding hard, definitely at my 85% mark, if not pushing that to some degree, and he is just riding. I focus on the fundamentals, staying in the attack position, de-weighting the front end if I can, weighting the back end for better traction, keeping my knees pinned to the bike so my body weight is actually controlling and stabilizing the bike as opposed to just relying on my grip and my arms to control the bike. When he messes up, and it's pretty rare, and I catch up, I like to give him shit and rev my bike, just so he knows I'm still there. I'm trying to push him because in reality, I'm trying to get him to push me. I feel like I ride faster when I'm in second place. I'm really willing to risk it more because I see them travel, go over whatever obstacles are already there, and I know it's possible for me. When I lose him for a bit and then I start seeing his dust, I get excited. Usually that means he's made a mistake and I'm on my way to catch up with him. I try to push as hard as I can, and I sometimes lose my focus, which causes me to make mistakes. Being fluid and being smooth in your riding is incredibly important. FX and I will have another go around in the third part of this series, but for now, I want to talk about riding with Aaron. Aaron really enjoys dancing with his KTM. He also really enjoys focusing on the fundamentals of dirt biking. I never see him sit down. The corners he takes are superb. He picks great lines. He does not make it more difficult on himself. When I first met him, he was riding a DRZ 400 on these trails, on worse trails than what's being shown on these videos. He has an incredible sense of balance. His dirt bike riding is a lot like his personality. It's very nice. It is subtle in the mannerisms. It's not extreme. He isn't going hard braking into turns. He isn't gassing out of a turn. It's just very level-headed and very consistent. And over time, it really does show that he has a great understanding of fluidity on a dirt bike. I was interested to see how he would do on technical downhills. He doesn't get to ride very often, and I've been practicing a lot. Pretty much trying to get over my fear of hitting anything, crashing, and the overall lack of control going down horrific downhills. The GoPro unfortunately makes things that are pretty steep look really flat. It's kind of amusing. At the same time, it's a little frustrating. But this downhill could really mess someone up if they weren't taking the time to properly approach it, make sure that the back tire and the rear brake are controlling where the bike exactly is, and hugging the bike with your knees. If you were to use just your arms, you'd be incredibly tired, and by the time you reach the bottom, your chances of making a mistake due to that fatigue are much higher. I feel like all my practice really paid off in this downhill section. I was really confident, and I really didn't feel out of my element at all. Being able to ride behind Aaron was a great benefit to me. He's an excellent example on the fundamentals of dirt biking, from being in the attack position almost always to taking the time to maybe assess an obstacle and see how you're going to be able to ride over it or through it. Even when he makes mistakes, watching him take the time to recenter his balance and recover without putting a foot down was pretty incredible, actually. Just because you make a mistake doesn't mean you need to overcompensate by grabbing a bunch of throttle and revving the bike out and just going off real hard. In fact, Aaron focuses specifically on as little tire spin as possible, and it really shows in his riding. I had a great time riding with these guys. It was great to see their techniques and how they accomplished maybe certain obstacles, and to see how fast they were in certain sections, and how they liked their bike setup. How you have your bike setup can really change on how you ride and what your riding style is. And it was great to hear their thoughts and opinions about how certain things should be done or shouldn't be done. And obviously they're a great company, and I look forward to riding with them again in the future. In fact, the part 3 of this video, as I mentioned earlier, I'll be riding specifically with FX. It's just him and I, and he puts me through the paces, that's for sure. So make sure to watch that video, and thank you for everyone that watched this video.